Hi, my name is Leslie Almanza and I'm here representing BN Kennels. We got started, well, my sister-in-law introduced them to us. She had two bullies of her own, and we went over to her house like over the summer, and my husband started liking them, and it was like 2 months or 3 months trying to convince me to get dogs, and he convinced me at the end. At first I was really skeptical, can you say? I was really like, I wasn't sure like if we were gonna have them for a long time, but I ended up falling in love with him. The name of my dog is Duke, and I fell in love with him. Like, he's very lovable. Like, he changed my whole idea of thinking of the dogs, of the bullies. Well, my dogs, I could tell you they bring happiness to my kids, because last year with the pandemic and all that, my kids were very anxious. They were getting, I think, to the point of depressed. And we got the dogs, and it was a whole different story. My kids love them. My kids get sad when they get sick. My kids, like, I have my daughter, she's 4, and she's all over my oldest dog. Like, she goes and sleeps with him, hugs him, and I don't know, they just bring happiness to my family. And like I was saying, like, we go over to the border, we go to Juarez, Mexico, and when we're at the bridge, like, there's people that sell candies or clean the windows, and they go around us. They don't even ask us if we want water. Like, they get away because they're like, oh, the dog is gonna eat us. So, and there's other people like, ew, that's a badass dog. The first BN kennel, the dog is Shiloh. I met him when he was like, 3 years? He was 3 years old. That's the first bully I met, and I was scared. I would go over to my sister-in-law, can you put your dog away? Like, is your dog inside? Where are my kids? You know, like, all paranoid. But then, like, with time, like, I would, like, begin to trust him. Like, I would get near him and just pet him and, okay, that's good. And he would come around with my kids and everything, and I would feed him, and he's like, okay, she's good, she fed me already. But that was the first bully I ever seen. And just looking at him, like, his head, his body, I'm like, oh, hell no. But he's a lovable dog. Like, he's very obedient, he's very disciplined. He's very smart. The second dog we got from BN Kennels is Duke. He's a year already, and I love his personality. He reminds me so much of my son. My son is 11, and they just connect with each other. But they're very hyper. They're very energetic. They're just out there. Like, my kids love him. Like, they love him. And, well, he just won my heart. Like, he changed my whole aspect of everything since he's with me all the time. He sleeps in my room. So it's totally different. Yeah. I think I have a Yorkie. I think she's more aggressive than my dogs. No one can get near the door because she starts going at them. And my dog's over here like, oh, someone. Like, it's like, people have no idea. They're babies. They think they're babies. They act like babies. Like, it's a totally different idea from what people like think of them. It's just the aspect. Like, oh, they're aggressive, they're this. No, my Yorkie is aggressive, my Yorkie, everything. But them, I do see myself in the future keeping a dog from each litter, making them better, you know, so that families get a good quality of dog. My husband, he tells me, let's get another dog, let's get another dog. And when he told me how much he paid for that, I'm like, what? He's worth it, like, because he's family. And we got ourselves, my husband and I, we got another dog. His name is Kimbo. And when he told me how much the dog was, I'm like...
So where did you guys get him from?
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria? What was the kennel out there that you guys got?
Galaxy Kennel. Well, my husband saw the kennel on Facebook. And he's like, let's get one. They're beautiful, they're big, they're humongous. There's no dog like here in the United States or even El Paso or Texas. And when he told me how much he gave him down payment, I'm like, boy, like, you really want to get a divorce right now. And I kind of got mad at him because I couldn't really trust. Like, I'm like, are you going to trust that guy? Like, he doesn't answer sometimes, and he's like, no, I trust him. And then after that, he would send him videos, how the puppy's doing, and everything. And then when we started getting worried, like, they weren't going to send him over, he's like, it's because we have to wait till he's 4 months by law. Over there in Bulgaria, you can't send a puppy at 8 weeks. They're like, no, it has to be 4 months. So the closer the due date was, we're like, okay, what's gonna happen? And he sent us a message. Since he didn't speak English, he got a translator, but we couldn't understand him. We're like, okay, I think he's trying to say this. And then, well, yeah, he called us, you know what, your dog's on his way, it's gonna take 2 days. And I was nervous because I'm like, it's a long trip, it's overseas, it's by airplane. Is he gonna be here alive? Like, I was nervous by that. We went to Houston for him. And it was funny because we went to a place where they take place animals, not just dogs, any kind of animals. And when we got there, all these people coming with their little kennel or in their arms. And I'm like, where's my husband? Where's my husband? They bring out the dog in a forklift because he was too heavy. They bring him in a forklift and I'm like, that's your dog? Yeah, that's my dog. I'm like, oh my, when I saw him, I'm like, are you sure he's 4 months? He's like, yeah, here's his paper. We had to go to customs. They asked him a bunch of questions. He was so nervous. And no, they're just like, that's a beautiful dog. The customs told him, I love your dog, he's beautiful. If you ever have puppies, call us. Since it's my husband and my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, like I just want to wish them well. Like I know they're gonna have, they're gonna have a great achievement because it's good quality. Like they invest in their dogs. They love their dogs. They take care of their dogs. And right now they have a litter from Duke and Ariel. And then next year they're gonna have more litters coming on from Duke. What I like about Duke is that he's considered male. So when they breed him with another dog, like it was the first time with Ariel. It was the first time we bred him with Ariel, one of the dogs we have in the kennels. They came out beautiful, beautiful. Like the colors, all the merle on their back. It was one of them came out platinum, all platinum, white right here like a mask, and then all merle. Like it was beautiful with blue eyes, beautiful. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and on TikTok by BN Kennels.